What's up? We're here with part 2. This is going to be part 2 of the Ravens ebook, Offensive EBook. So, last time we went over bunch, this time we're going over trips. We're going to go ahead and get into practice mode and go over the trips. In here, we're going to go to Trips Te Offsett. It's a little bit different than trips, but the plays are relatively the same. For my audibles, what I'll do is turn scat into level sail and put RPO alert bubble in here and then leave these alone. I mean, there's not as much good plays in here. I mean, there's only 3, 6, 9, 12 plays, and they're not all the greatest compared to regular good trip set. That's why trips isn't my main one in this, but I can definitely make it a main one. So those are my audibles. So the first play we'll go over is PA crossers, and we'll go against the cover 3 look. Okay, so we see the single high safety and the corners backed off, so we're reading cover 3. If you want to see how to read defenses, just let me know again. So this is our first setup out of here. We're going to put the outside receiver on an in, slot receiver on a flat, leave the crosser, and then tight end on a go. You're going to want to cancel the play action, and then you're just going to read this flat and in route. The flat gets open, take it. The in route and flat are your main reads here, especially for short downs. Sometimes this in route will just get in there. So we'll do this again. You can do that a streak, or if you need extra blocking, do a delay fade. I'm just going to read that in route. So right now the flat route is getting open. And then another thing you can do to modify that setup is throw your inside guy on the streak now. That can carry up the linebacker sometimes. And I'll put him on a delay fade. Look, we're just gonna take our flats. You wanna just attack with that end route too, especially if they're using up here on Kenneth Murray and they chase. This in breaking route is gonna get wide open right there. See how he doesn't chase because it's the AI, but if that's a user, they're probably gonna use their trip side and they're just gonna bite on that all day. So that's really the two modifications of this setup. So here it is again. And then here's a modification with the delay fade. Here's a modification with the streak. Just really trying to get these two routes open, I suppose. And I would not throw that streak because almost all the time they're going to user it. Another setup out of this play. We're going to do this. Same setup on the left side, and then we're going to motion our running back. So you're going to block him, motion him out on a streak, and we're just going to spread out the offense. That streak can clear out that deep third, and yeah. So you're having the same look over here. This is really more of just a modification. So you can put him on a streak and then let your tight end stay on that, and then he can break off into the flats. You're really looking for the flat in route combo on the left, and on the right it's going to take longer to develop, but the deep crosser. And what you can do is just max protect and then motion him out. Nope, you have to block your running back and then motion him out. Put this guy back on here. See, you can have that in route. I tried to pump fake, but that didn't work. So that's the second setup out of this play. Okay, here's another setup I have out of this. You're going to screen your outside receiver. Put this guy on a go. This guy on an out. And then snap the ball. I'm just going to hit the screen real quick. This is a quick developing play, so gotta be quick with it. There's no really deep breaking routes. So let me show you again. Put this guy over here so he takes the seam. And if you get that seam route open, You can also do stuff like this, put a drag on your tight end, and try and fit that ball over. That's only if you have the seam open, but you probably won't run this play more than like 5 times in a game, more than 4 times. This is just a real short yardage play. Essentially just a screen in its essence, but you know. So here it is one more time. If you want, you can pass lead it up. You just gotta make sure you catch it. So here's the last look at it. Screen, streak, out route. If you lead it, just add catch it. There you go. Take it up the field, make a play. So put your slot guy on a cross, tight end on a go, and this guy on a drag. And you motion him over, and you're just gonna flood the middle of the field with crossers, essentially. It's a long developing play, but you can get the crossers open. Let's see if I can get it. D-line is crazy. So this is the last setup out of here. Very long developing play. See if I can get it now. You might have to pass lead it, but bang, just like that. I have a KO on them, so that's gonna be it for PA crossers out of your Trips Te Offsett. Okay, now we're gonna be coming out in level sail. Again, versus cover 3. And so you see we have 3 in-breaking routes. These are design zone beaters, so you can run this play stock if you need to. Just boom, like that. That was a horrible throw. But they're just gonna break down the zones. I mean, the deep out's not gonna carry. The slot over there, lined up on Clayton, is not gonna carry all the way. And the linebacker most likely is gonna bite on one of these guys coming in. And even if that happens, you have a corner out over here. Make a play on that, and you have the flat from the running back. So we're just gonna run it stock a few times, hit it right over the middle. Now we're gonna watch our slot receiver. As you see, it gets picked up, so we're gonna take our outside receiver coming in, and that's really all it is for stock on that side. And then you still have your running back out here. Make a play with your running back on the flat corner route. So a lot of good stuff. And so our first adjustment to this play, we're gonna go ahead and motion over Clayton, and we're gonna give it a clear out with the corner and flat, and then we're gonna have 2 in-breaking routes. So something's gonna be getting open. We're gonna look at this tight end corner because I'm using remote play to record from the computer. My bad. So we're gonna try this again, just like this. We have our in-breaking routes over the middle, and if the user plays the in routes, you have the corner route, corner flat. You're just gonna high-low that zone over there. Oops, pressed the wrong button. Sometimes motion snapping, they're not gonna get all the way over there, so you will see a difference. It's gonna take longer to develop if you motion snap it. If you let him get set out here, or not set, but just let him get out there. Okay, I'm getting sacked. Your main thing is getting that clear out over there and being able to just clear out that route. So our second setup is going to be very similar to PA counter go. You're going to put him on a flat, and that's going to be your only adjustment. So you're going to hit your flat if you see the slot corner pick up the in route. I won't go over this too much because we really saw this in the other set. You can make adjustments once again. You can put this guy on an in or a slant route or a go route, fit it right over the defense, right in that seam. A lot you can work with. It's just taking what the defense gives you. If you understand zones and how man works and how each zone works, you can really break it down just like that. the user carries that, you're still gonna have the left side, and you have the flat and corner route. So that's level sail. So we're gonna switch to a new play. Okay, so we're coming out in verticals. As you just seen, verticals versus cover 3. We're gonna do something like this. Oops. Tight end on an out route, running back on a curl. And then on the right side, I just put my outside receiver on the screen. So you have this crosser, deep crosser thing that gets over. I have deep zone KO, so it's gonna get knocked out. That can fit behind the linebackers. And say they're using Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, lined up on the left side. Then if they run away, you have the running back right underneath. And if that's not a user, you can tell it brings down that linebacker. So this linebacker is going to play the running back, and you're going to get basically free crosser over the middle. You can look at the seam also. Just try and fit it in there if there's a user over there and they run away. So here's one last look. So I would say your progressions are going to be in order. On the left side, you're going to look if the tight end breaks free first, like this. If you have the tight end right away, throw your tight end every time. So your first read is going to be the tight end because that's the quickest route, I would say. Second read is going to be the crosser. And your check down is just going to be out here to the screen route. So one last time, I'll show you the play. Just like this. Out route, curl route, flat or screen route. Linebacker drops down, catch it over the middle, bang. Easy chunk play. Okay, so now for verticals, we're gonna have another setup out of this. This is more of like a coverage beater, I'd say. You're only gonna run this versus cover 3. I like to block my running back, put the tight end on an in route, and you're just gonna try and feed it into the seam. Once he breaks out, bang. If they have a good player there, we're gonna block our running back, tight end, keep him on that drag, come back on the outside and motion this over and just try and feed it into that seam. As you can see, I did not get any blocks. It might take a little while to develop, so there's also something else you can do. So tight ends on that. Once again, we're just going to put our guy on the screen. Sometimes that can help bring the flat defender out and then feed it right in there. Sort of a tough pass. I mean, it's not really going to beat the coverage deep. You're just trying to feed it into the seams, and that's why we motion over our inside guy. So then we could do something like this. Bring him in, have a slant route coming in. So that's another setup we got. I'll show you this setup again. So tight end on a go, inside on a slant, and we're gonna motion slant him, motion him over, and then snap the ball. Look at the seam. If it's not there, you have the screen route or the slant route as a check down, really, as your second and third options. Do not throw the screen late because they will get to it eventually. So I would look at the screen as your second option. If it's there, take it, especially if the guy is covering up deep. So this is going to be it for verticals. So our next play is going to be RPO alert bubble. Play versus cover 3 again. As you can see, the linebacker is going to be lined up on the slot, but that's just to match it. So we will have the run game open up, especially if he uses the bubble. So you're going to ID the mic as the non-user if you can identify who it is. If there's inside stuff, make sure to double team. So that's going to be left bumper or L1 and then right stick down and then click X or A on him. Okay, so I'm going to show you the run first. you're really just a regular inside zone. If they're in a 3 down, if they only have 3 pass rushers, then you're going to get pancakes, which I can show you later, especially if they pass commit. And then here's the pass out of it. You just want to throw a straight bullet. You don't really need to lead it. Sometimes it depends on when you throw it. If you throw it too early or too late, like this, oops, run that back. If you throw it too late, they're gonna do like a weird animation, or if you throw it too early. So you're just throwing it too early, you see they kind of catch it and have to backpedal. So you just gotta get that sweet spot. It is a read, so don't just throw it mindlessly. Let them get back, let them get parallel with the O-line basically, and then throw it. Let him get good depth, so when he's on the break of it, so right there, that way you can get him with momentum running forward. That's the best time to throw it. So that's it for that. Next run play is going to be halfback counter. Go versus cover 3. Don't worry, I'll go over cover 2 and man coverage still. So with this, I like to motion this guy over versus zone, double team the inside stuff, follow your blocks, and simple as that. There's not really too much to it, just a counter, especially later on in the game when they think you're running inside zones. Hit them with a counter, you might be able to break it for 20 yards more. And if not, that's okay. Just gotta keep them honest. Here's what it looks like without the motion. If you have smart enough linemen, they're gonna get to their blocks, but it just depends. So that's gonna be it for counter. Our last run play is gonna be read option. Just a simple read option. If you're reading zone especially, I like to motion this over. Snap it. I shouldn't have gave it there since he came down, but you see it works. So don't be afraid to just hand it off. So now I'm going to show you, just got to read it. If he sits, you hand it off just like that. And if he comes down, you're just going to take off with your QB. Don't run this unless you have a fast QB, obviously. See there, he comes down, take off. That's why I like the Ravens playbook. You get a lot of QB runs. Now we're going to run back versus man coverage. We'll go against cover 2 man. This is not the best formation in my eyes versus cover 2, especially when they press with good corners. So just get a lot of good man beating routes, zigs, crossers, slants, motion slants, just like this. You're gonna look at your whip route first. A whip and a zig are like the exact same thing, just different words. So for this setup, a slot on a whip, outside on a slant, and you're just gonna motion him over. And you're gonna look at the whip, slant, crosser. Whip's not there, slant is. Take your slant. And if it's cover 2 man, what you're gonna have to do, same thing out here, same motions. Just put your tight end on a go to clear out that deep half. That way your crosser can be one-on-one with the corner and not have safety help. So let's see if we get enough blocks. That was a bad throw. So for the sake of the quickness of the video, I'll show you one more time. This is all I would really do out of man. Just try and get a lot of man beater routes out here. So your progressions are whip, slant, crosser. If you're reading man, you don't want to run verticals, especially if they're in it a lot. If it's a cover 0, so I'll show you cover 0. This is the only time you'd really want to run it. You can block your running back, put this guy on a delay block, still get your principles of man beating out here. So this type of setup, and instead of a crosser, it's more like a crossing post, I would say, and it can get open. So I'm just gonna block everyone since it is a blitz. You're still gonna look at your whip, your zig, and it's still it's a blitz, but that's really it for that. And that play is level sail versus man. We're gonna find a cover 2 man. This corner route's good. Flat routes are good versus whatever man coverage. So what I like to do is a post with your slot, a zig out here, and then throw your outside guy on a comeback. This is sending everyone out. So if it's a man blitz, you obviously want to block. So our progressions are going to be flat route, whip route, post, corner, comeback. Flat route's there almost. Make a play. If you have to get it out and only take 3 yards, only take 3 yards. It's whatever. Just live to play another down. So here's the setup. I'm going to look at the whip. It's not there. We got the post. Got to make a play on that. Oops. Just like that. Post over the middle. Bang. Easy money. And we'll see if we can get the comeback. So I'm just going to block everyone. That way I can try and get the comeback route with enough blocking, because practice mode blocking is trash. And right when they break, you want to try and hit it. That was a bad throw, but once you see them shuffle their feet or whatever, that's when you want to get the ball out. Kind of like that. So that's going to be level sail versus man. Just take your major principles of beating man coverage and everything. And so our last thing, I'm going to just show you my plays versus cover 2. So versus cover 2, I won't call too much PA crossers. I will call level sail. And let's find a cover 2. As you guys know, the sidelines and deep middle are one of the biggest weaknesses in cover 2. So this is a little setup you can do. You're going to put corner out, go, and then leave the right side the same. On the right side, we're looking for this corner route. You're going to have to pass lead it down a little bit. Otherwise, the deep half can play on it. So let's try that. That was a bad pass lead, but you see it getting open. And out here we have a corner route. And this, so on cover 2, the guy on the outside, Tariq Woolen, on Randy Moss, he's going to be playing the flat. The guy in the slot is going to be playing a vert, and the 2 guys in the middle are playing middle. So if you can fit it over the deep middle, there was a touchdown right there. He dropped it. And the outside go route is more of a clear out. And you can also, I'm gonna take the corner real quick, kind of like this, and that's why you take your corner out there with the clear out. So that's gonna be the setup out of that. And then I'm gonna audible the verticals, and verticals is essentially the same thing, but now I'm gonna put him on a flat route and on a go route. And we're just gonna kind of work the exact same thing. You can hit this outside streak now, since the flat route is going to play the flat corner, and you also have the guy over the middle. So those are your big chunk plays. Kind of hit it just like that, and that's just about going to do it for that. So if you guys want to see more, I'm only recording every few days, edit the video. So that's it for Trips Te Offsett Ravens EBook. So far, part 1 was bunch. This is part 2. Part 3 is probably going to be a combination of deuce close and normal Y-off close. Maybe they might get their own videos. I'll just see how it goes. So that's it for Trips. Here's your audibles. Oh, I didn't set my audibles. because I had to go, or my internet cut out earlier. Here's your audibles, level sail, RPO, verticals, PA crossers, and that's gonna be it. Like, comment, questions, anything. This is free, so just take what you got. There's plenty of other videos you can add to it also. I'm just going over what I like to do, what I do best, what I found, what I've come up with, things like that. Personnel wise, there's not too much substituting you're gonna do. If you really wanted, you could sub in tight ends out here for the RPO to get better blocks. You could sub in an offensive lineman, a tight end on the counterplay or the read option. But that's really going to be it for substituting your personnel. So that's it for now. See you next time.